Where we last left our hero, he had one artifact, he needs another artifact. Of course, as things happen, the person who has the information that he needs is dead, but his lover is still alive. He is looking for the lover and hopes that she has some information that would be helpful, but of course, she's trying to cure a mysterious sickness in the area, so she's looking for rare plants. So, Icarus Talon goes on this trek with a handful of shipmates, no one of note, and he stumbles upon some large crab eggs. Will they survive? Let's play to find out. Welcome back to the channel. I am Sacred, and this is the Sacred Art of Gaming, where we enjoy talking about tabletop gaming, and we like to do a little bit of solo play. And today, we are jumping back into Sundered Isles, gonna try and minimize the chaos. We're on our third one here. Something that I did do off camera was I did mark some progress here. I believe it's called Reach a Milestone, because we did get some information about her whereabouts. I feel like that is a milestone, and because it's dangerous, we marked 2. I did also add a 8-piece, I kind of customized it here, for our the pirate hunter that has marked us for vengeance. That's something that we can roll on. Do I want to do that right now? No, we're in the middle of the scene. But that's something that we can roll on to get ideas to, like, is he onto us, to get ideas like when he may pop up again. We have an issue. We have an issue with the crabs. I did mark this as dangerous, and I think I'm going to do this as a scene challenge. Everything that I'm reading about the scene challenges, which are in the Starforged book, not in any of the Sundered Isles books, but it feels like that. It feels like a, ticking time bomb, gotta escape before the place blows up type of situation to me. So we are ready to act. I don't know if I'd say we have a clear advantage, but we are ready to act, which means it is dangerous. And we are going to go ahead and start making some moves to try and deal with this situation. They're in this swampy bog area. They saw the large footprints, and these eggs and the crabs that are coming out of them are quite large, especially considering they are babies. So these crabs, and there are many of them, there are dozens of them, if not more. And these crabs coming out are about the size of like a medium-sized dog. So yes, quite troubling. Now, I think what Icarus is gonna do, he does have a few of his veteran sailors with him, air sailors, and he's gonna let them know, like, hey, let's do what we can to try and smash up as many of these crabs in the eggs before they hatch, to minimize the issue that we're gonna run into, because they don't feel like running is their best bet, because like sometimes they're stepping in this mud and it goes waist deep, and these crabs, they're a little bit more attuned to the situation. So I think with him giving those orders, that's gonna be a roll on heart. It's gonna be a roll on heart, and Icarus Talon has 2 heart. So we're gonna try and secure an advantage, but it's going to be a scene challenge, which is slightly different. We're fighting the clock while also trying to fill this. Let's see, can he command his people effectively to get them to break as many of these as possible, to give them an advantage in this situation so they don't have to deal with too many crabs. Okay, that is not good. That is not good. So that is going to be a complete miss, which means in this secure an advantage situation on a miss, you fail or your assumptions betray you. Fill a clock segment and pay the price. All right, so this is gonna be my clock segment over here, and this is gonna determine if we are just overrun with these crabs. On a miss with a match, which no. So yeah, paying the price is what we will do. All right, pay the price. I'm just gonna go with my gut on this. And that is that as they try and smash some of these eggs, it actually does the opposite of what they try to do. They underestimated how hard the shells are of these baby crabs. So it actually just started to break out more and more crabs, and they are actually getting overran even faster as they surround the group here. I think that's a good start. I feel like with solo play in this, it's like, did I hurt myself enough? I don't know. But yeah, now things are getting real. So we're definitely gonna face danger. We're gonna attempt something risky or react to an imminent threat because we are on the defensive here. So my question is there anything that's higher, some type of high ground that they can get to that maybe is dry, or maybe something that they can defend from a little bit better? And I'm going to say, especially considering how we're talking about the mud and stuff that was pushed around, I'm gonna say likely, whether it was made by this big crab or just completely natural. Let's see. We're looking for a 75 or less. 92. Things. I feel like the I feel like the odds are never in my favor. I don't know that they've ever been in my favor. So yeah, that is not something that they can do. So I mean, they really just got to start pulling out the guns and start shooting. And so I think with that is going to be edge, I believe, speed, mobility, agility. Yeah, that's like the ranged weapon. So all of them are just going to start shooting, but the guns in this world are going to be similar to pirate guns, although Magitech in nature, they're still going to be like single shot type guns. So there are still limitations with how much they're going to be able to do here. All right, so that's looking like a weak hit to me, almost a strong. So on a weak hit, you are successful and mark progress. I like to hear. But also encounter a complication or setback. Envision what occurs and fill a clock segment. That is not good. This is not looking good. What am I gonna do if I'm overran by these baby crabs? Oh man. Vision. So a complication or a setback. As they are shooting these guns, we'll say maybe this is the Magitech type guns are also somewhat affected in a similar way to pirate guns of this time with the black powder and stuff. See, with them going through this very moist, dank bog, there's actually some moisture on their guns. So they get the first shots off and they are able to like kill some of these crabs. It does seem to be highly effective, but they're struggling to reload their guns effectively in this situation because of that. Now, it feels like they're gonna have to resort to something else. They don't have high ground, they have low mobility, and they don't really have ranged weapons. And they also have like slashing weapons for the most part. That's a good question. Do any of the sailors that are with him have some type of blunt or even an axe weapon? We'll say 50-50. I feel like anytime it's likely, it just goes against me. 33, yes. All right, cool. So someone does have like a mallet or an axe or something. So that is something that we can work with. Now, I don't think we're still not in control to my knowledge. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about being in control. I'm gonna assume we're not in control because that's generally how the game works. So, but we are very behind. This is bad. From here, I think seeing what we have, I think Icarus is going to go back to trying to command them to get together, work together, and have the person or persons, there's like maybe 2 or 3 of them, that actually have the blunt weapons to basically take point, essentially, as the other 1 or 2 people, himself included, are actually reloading the guns. So smash, smash, shoot, smash, smash, shoot. So that's gonna be hard. Man, this is real bad. Real bad. So that's a miss. You fail or a momentary success is undermined by a dramatic turn of events. Fill a clock segment and pay the price. On a miss with a match, nope. fill 2 segments and pay the price. These crabs, man, let me tell you. So is this the time that I feel like rolling on this is, I'll try. I'll give it a shot. I almost don't trust this. I feel like it's gonna be like your vehicle is damaged. But yeah, we'll give this a shot. If not, I'm gonna go with my gut feeling here. This might give us something cool though that makes sense. You face a tough choice. Okay, I will roll with that. Number 11 there, if you can see it. Some of these baby crabs actually take at least one of his crew members, and he has to make a choice to basically save that crew member and keep their formation together and tight. And also this crew member does have, we'll say the only blunt weapon to make this even more of a tough choice. And he's getting dragged away as he's trying to smash these crabs with it. Getting dragged away as the crabs are holding him down and beginning to feast on his flesh. And the tough choice is for them to continue to stay together. They're just gonna have to let it go, fire off a couple shots, and continue to try and backpedal as much as possible into as much dry land as they can possibly get to. Okay, we are facing danger again. We really can't mess around here. Do I have anything tricky? Do I have anything that would be useful? Is it safe to assume that he would have some food on him? I think that is likely. I think that is. Let's see. Yes. All right. So we're gonna try and deceive some of these crabs, which this might be another tough choice. Some of their rations they probably need for this trip. He's actually gonna take some of them and try and throw them. It might even be all of the rations, to be honest, because we're looking at like quite a few crabs that are pretty big. And this is gonna be deception, shadow. Does this work? This is gonna be real bad if this doesn't work. Oh man, we needed that. We needed that a lot. All right, so we have a strong hit. We're successful and we mark progress on a strong hit with a match, which I think the match has to be the D10s. We will mark progress. All right, so that does give us an advantage though. So I think from there, that does open things up, and I think we're going to then retreat. Between them being, half of them being focused on the crewmate that they kind of had to sacrifice, and then the other ones on the rations that didn't go for that crewmate. They are starting to back up into some land that is maybe some rocks and stuff too, so they can actually have like a much better footing. And I think that's going to be edge for that. Oh, very good, very good. So this is our 6. That is another strong hit for us securing an advantage. On a hit, you are successful. On a strong hit, take both. On a strong hit with a match, which we do not have, take both and mark progress. On a weak hit, choose one. Okay, so add 1 to your next move being a progress move. Hit, you are successful. On a strong hit, take both. On a strong hit with a match, take both and mark progress. That sucks that I don't get progress. Oh, I haven't been thinking about my momentum either. This might be, we may have to consider that, but I actually don't get to mark progress whenever I am in control. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna get both. I get both, I get some momentum. So we're at +7, and then I also get +1 on my next roll, which will not be a progress roll. Things are coming down to the wire here, ladies and gentlemen. Now that we have some secure footing, is this where I want to get a little fancy? When I make a move with outrageous style and do not roll a 1 on your action die, you may re-roll that die. If you burn momentum to improve your result on this move, roll your action die again. On a 5 or 6, do not reset the momentum. Okay, the crabs were momentarily distracted. Now, I think this is where Icarus, he's actually going to come in with both his normal cutlass sword and then also his broken iron sword, which is quite strong. And I think he's going to, he's feeling guilty. He's feeling a little bit guilty about having to sacrifice one of his crew members. And now that he is able to move freely, because he is quite agile and graceful, even in just the way he carries himself, he's actually going to take both swords and start coming at some of these crabs now that his movement is not delayed or messed up in any way. And with the regular sword, he's going to start slashing at their legs to try and immobilize them as much as possible. But the iron one that is broken but still quite strong, he's going to start piercing their shells with that. So he does get a +1 to this. This sounds like melee, right? So it's strength, endurance, or aggression. Yeah, it's going to be iron. But we do have our advantages here from Swashbuckler. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So we do have a +1 on this roll. Let's go. All right, so I mean, we're looking at least a weak hit. I don't know that. So, and we're doing this with outrageous style. We're going crazy here. So when you make a move with outrageous style, you do not roll a 1 on your action die. You may re-roll that die. If you burn momentum, okay. So yeah, we'll re-roll this. It's probably not gonna help us much because there's a 9 here. Oh my God, what am I doing? Oh baby, still doesn't help us much. But if it just wasn't a 9. Yeah, because that gives us 6, 7, 8, just 1 short. Damn, okay. So that is a weak hit. On a hit, you are successful. On a strong hit, take both. Oh, I just realized I was supposed to take 2 momentum. My momentum's getting up there. Do I want to take +1 or do I want to take the momentum? I think I want to take the +1. All right. So although he's in there slashing, slicing, there's just too many. Too many crabs are moving in on him too quickly. He has to kind of fall back as some of them are moving in on him. Can he? Yeah, these crabs, it's kind of, this is their environment. It's going to be tough to do like a 300 situation. So we're talking about a marsh. We'll say 50-50. Are there any like downed trees or large branches that we can use to maybe smash up or at least hinder some of these crabs that we can roll towards them? 50-50. 59, that is a no. All right. Whew, running out of things to do here. We're facing danger. We've tricked them. Yeah, I think between them just trying to be quick and shoot them, that's what they're gonna have to do here as he works his way up, and they're just gonna start firing on them Civil War style now that they've kind of had a moment that Icarus was able to give them with his over-the-top move there. This would be with edge. These 9s, man. All right, so we have a +3, which gives us 7, and then we took a +1 on the roll, which is an 8. Still puts us in weak hit territory. Okay, on a weak hit, you are successful, man. If I had burned momentum, I could have been fine. Because I think, if I recall correctly, burning momentum, and I'll verify. Yeah, so burning momentum replaces, it doesn't add on to your stats. So this is where me as a player has actually failed my character. Because this is a weak hit, so you are successful and mark progress, but also encounter a complication or setback. Envision what occurs and fill a clock segment. Weak hit, yours. So, I mean, we're successful. Yeah, we did not quite make it. Oh, those crabs, man. I think it is, there really is no other option for what happens here. We know that we are overrun by the crabs. Now, as all of them swarm all around us, and our characters, our characters' troops here are trying to fight to the bloody end, and a lot of them are the crabs trying to disable them in some ways, so like just cutting off their arms or whatever with their claws, or breaking them and crushing them and stuff, as we are all being dragged to a den. We'll say 3 of us that are left, Icarus and 2 others. So all of us being dragged into this like really muddy den. We're being dragged through the mud. Icarus does have the wherewithal he takes the iron blade, and he's actually being dragged by the leg before the crab can really like pinch down and do any major damage. He actually takes his broken iron blade and places it in between the claw and his leg. So this way he's not suffering any major damage. Yeah, so whew, this is rough. We are now in this large crab den that these babies that just hatched decided to bring us into for some reason. Man, I did not expect that to be the entirety of it, and I also did not expect that to be that difficult, but this is the way. So I think we will end things here. How will Icarus get himself out of this one? He did not bring much with him. He has, now we're assuming, no food. He's in a den full of crabs. Not quite sure why. That's another question we could probably ask. Why? Why? Well, I mean, are they just full from eating their friend and then the rations? I don't know. But it didn't feel like that's how Icarus should die, especially considering he still has +5 health. We technically have lost no health. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, what would you have done in that situation, other than, of course, take the momentum that I foolishly did not do. Just like me, to always hang on to a resource, like in video games, for a situation that never comes up. And then next thing you know, you're in a layer full of baby crabs, and I can only assume a massive crab also in there. Alright, so if you enjoyed this video, of course, do all of the fun YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, all of the things, right? I will see you in the next one as we continue to explore the sacred art of gaming together.